He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because He hath set His love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. What's up, everybody? I'm Adriana from SweetSister.love, and no, I'm not a holy roller, but I do believe in reading the good books and finding courage and comfort in the wisdom from long ago. And we could talk forever about all the things that are wrong, but it will give us more strength, more power, more resiliency to focus on the good, to find words that are comforting, that allow you to feel God's love and strength, God's protection. And we call on divine protection right now because the world is literally burning as we watch. We are watching what men do when they have too much power. We are watching what governments do when they have too much power. And it's up to us to awaken. It is time for us to wake up. We need to know that collectively we have a lot of power, that collectively and spiritually we can shift reality. This is why I love tapping. This is why I love meeting with my mentor. This is why I love keeping up with my daily practice, because as I tap and liberate myself from everything that blocks me, limits me, makes me feel small, as I tap and free myself, my world changes. I alter reality with the way that I see myself, the way that I see others, and the way that I practice shifts reality, and that is the truth. And you have the power to begin to shift your reality. You can absolutely speak into existence your good fortune, your blessings, your protection. And I do not want you to rely on anything but your intuition. When we build on our intuition, when we grow as spiritual beings, when we decide for ourselves, enough is enough, I want change, and you start to take action towards that change, you will see it. You will see it in small ways. You will see the tiny signs, and then you will begin to see it in bigger and bigger ways, because you can start simple, and it's those simple things that we do every day consistently that makes a huge difference. This is what I do. This is the work that I do. I combined all of the knowledge and the wisdom over years, over experience, and pull them together to help people in small ways and in big ways. I do it in my daily work. I have a a job where I go out into the community and I try to be a force for good. I try to always speak life onto others and uplift those who feel low or downtrodden or forgotten. Sometimes, circumstances come, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're not going to have a challenge, because you will. You could be sitting in a challenge right now. I am sitting in a challenge right now. But the reality is that you can shift that, and that everything is working out for us. Everything is working out for me. Even the things that did not work out for me worked out for me. And I could not have known, I could not have imagined that what was withheld, that what I did not get was helping me. All that time I suffered and cried because I did not have, or something wasn't coming through. And I could not have known back then that that was serving me. And so I want you to start shifting your perspective, start changing your attitude, because when you change your attitude and you focus on the good, you focus on the blessings that are coming your way, even by way of quote unquote misfortune. And I don't want to downplay the misfortune in the world. We know that children are starving. We know that war is real. We know that there are governments and people, specifically men in power, who are undermining our existence. We know this, but we gain nothing by sitting in that pool of misery. We do nothing by sitting in that pool of misery. And so I am on today to share with you the warm waters of healing, the warm waters of truth. I believe in Jesus Christ. I love Jesus Christ. I am not a holy roller. I was raised Catholic, but inside of my Catholic religion and belief is a tradition behind it. I come from the diaspora. My mother is from the Dominican Republic. My father was from Costa Rica. Indigeneity is in my DNA, my bones, my blood. Africa is in my blood. And I know that far, far, far back, my ancestors prayed to the saints who were disguised as deities. And so I know that God's love is universal. I know that you can channel any belief system into whatever you are practicing now, because God is one. And some people may call that blasphemy, some people may call that spiritual confusion or bypassing. But let me tell you something. There is no difference between my child and a Palestinian child. There is no difference between my mother and a Palestinian mother. We love our children the same. We have a beating heart the same. We have worries that are the same. And God's love could never. I believe in a benevolent, divine power. And that benevolence would never exclude another person simply because of location, simply because their temple looks different than mine. And there's a call for humanity. Like, where is our humanity? And if you cannot stir up feelings of compassion and love for others because they are different than you, then the devil got you. And I believe that more than ever. And so I place my heart, my mind, my deeds in the direction of peace, in the direction of love. I believe that love is a movement. I love bell hooks talking about love being acts of kindness. Love is not just a feeling, love is an action. And we need to be acting in love. Blowing people up, funding wars, is not love. It is not love. And we could talk about the wars forever and ever and ever. We could talk about politics forever and ever and ever, and we could get caught up in the conspiracy loops of all time. At the end of the day, someone must choose peace. Someone must prioritize love. And this is what we have to do. There is a call to action to all of us to begin to act in love. Period. There's no debate anymore. There is no debate anymore. We must choose love, and we must demand that the powers that rule us, the systems of government, that they respond to our need for love and care, period. We cannot be looking at, the United States is one of the most powerful, most rich nations, and we are arguing about immigrant communities having services, having benefits, having the ability to see a doctor or to get food. This is ridiculous. And if you cannot see the level of selfishness, greed, and stupidity, I urge you, please, to wake up, because trillions, I cannot even fathom what $1 trillion is. Trillions of dollars are going into war. And you are upset about millions going to house and feed immigrants in the US. Your priorities are so, like, you don't have ground to walk on, in my opinion. This is not the fight. This is not our fight. Our fight is for our freedom. And yeah, I mean, you could listen to a lot of other people who have more to say, historians. There are some really bright people, some really great activists doing what they can and who have been for many, many years. I just know what I am seeing, and I just know what I have been seeing my whole life. Since childhood, I am watching, Feed the Hungry, foundations, commercials on TV for charities. Like, this reality has always been. And as the richest people in the world, we have a moral obligation. I don't need to open a history book to know what's happening, because I have 2 eyes and a beating heart to see for myself and to feel the reality of the world, and that reality just doesn't suit a lot of us anymore. And I'm so happy to see that many of us are in pain about this. We should be. It's appropriate to be very sad right now, to be grieving. This kind of reality should not exist anymore. And I do feel the shift. There's so many spiritual people coming to the light, so to speak. There's so many of us who are willing to turn on a camera and start talking. There's so many of us taking the ideas in our head and writing them down in stories. You can absolutely find my book and purchase my book and read stories about, in this story, the very first story that I wrote is called La Tunca. And La Tunca is about a little girl and her friendship with a pig. She came to the United States with a coyote, not the coyote, the animal, but the people who cross borders. You could very easily call her, a victim of child trafficking, but she talks about that coming to America as a curious, slightly frightening, in the beginning, because when you approach the unknown, you don't know what could happen. But she ended up having a beautiful journey, and she got to see all of the trees of all of the countries. She has a perspective of traveling through Mesoamerica, and her view were trees because she was laying down in the back of a station wagon. And because she had to lay down the whole time, that view was of the skyline and the beautiful trees passing. And her hardest time actually was when she came to the US. And I love her story because she's such a vibrant woman, such a funny person, and she has reached another level of success. She had children, she educated herself, and she's married now and had a baby recently. And so joy is possible. Almighty God surprises us in so many ways. And so this book is a collection of those stories of people who really have every reason to be upset, to be angry, to be hurt, to be sad, and instead they are fighting for their life and having their life, you know, the life of their dreams. Is it perfect? No, it will never be perfect. But all of those imperfections are perfection. This is what life is. It's like holding two things. It's holding so much grief and so much joy. It's holding so much sadness, but also being held in that current of benevolence, you know, that benevolence that flows through all of us and all things all the time. And through the darkness and the destruction, there are these like seams of grace, and we need to tap into that grace. We need to believe once again that that is possible for all of us. So I don't think I want to tap today. I think I just really want to hold space for you, for all those people who are suffering. I want to hold space for my own grief and my understanding. I wish to understand myself, my place in the world, the divine inheritance that God has for me. What is possible when I clean up my little messes? What is possible when I stop self-sabotaging? What is possible when I call back my energy, call back my power, and use it for the good of others? What's possible when I uplift myself and I use my own high spirits to uplift others? And so that's what this video is about. It's about sharing who I am, what I'm doing, and inviting you. Whether you buy my book, whether you use my services, whether you patronize my website or any of the things or not, if you came across this video, I want to tell you that you deserve your happiness, that you deserve your peace, your health, your well-being, and that it is possible. I want you to work towards it. I want you to have what you want. And I want for what you want to be aligned with what God wants for you. And we can do this. We can absolutely do this. We can absolutely save this world from the horrors it is now suffering through. We have that collective power. And we should not, so often we wait for the worst thing to happen. It's often a catastrophe that wakes us up. And I want so much for us to be in touch with our innate power, our collective power, so that we don't wait for catastrophes to happen in order to snap out of it and snap into action. I want for us to be in action about our life and about what we want now. I want a miracle now. And I believe that the miracle that can happen now is that each and every one of us wake up. That each and every one of us find that center and realize all the wrongdoings that are happening, and that we clear them. We clear them from our consciousness. We clear them from our DNA. And we clear the noise and the chaos from confusing us. I want clarity. I call for clarity now. Clarity of spirit, clarity of mind, clarity in our body, that the dis-ease that has overcome so many of us, that it clear now. And that we step into our power, we step into our highest expression and begin now. We are not too late. We are the students of starting over, and we know exactly what it is to pick ourselves up and begin again. And when we begin again, we are not exactly beginning from scratch. We are not exactly redoing it all. What we are doing is taking the lessons and using them as blessings through wisdom. So when we begin again, we begin again on a much higher prong. Okay, be blessed today. Happy Friday, happy new moon, happy everything, happy summer if you are here in the US. Please visit me at sweetsister.love. I am on Substack as Single and Happy. Thank you for being here on this channel. Students of Starting Over, please share it with somebody. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as sweetsister.love. And please love yourself today. Pour into yourself. Accept all parts of yourself. Begin to forgive. Begin to integrate. And begin with what is in your heart. If there's something calling you forward, answer the call. Be obedient to those intuitive nudges. So much is coming for you. So much good is coming your way. So much good is coming my way. So much good has already landed right in my lap. And I am blessed and happy to have received it. And I know so much more, so much more, so much more. Bye.